show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.
Hey, welcome out to another Lone Star Gridiron videocast. I am Chris Daly. We have a very special episode, a crosstown showdown version of LSG this time. First up, we're going to view the Austin High Maroons versus the Austin Aikens Eagles. And we're going to finish it up with A&M Consolidated Tigers taking on the Bryan Vikings. All that and more, but after the break, we'll send it right out to Eric Weedy at historic House Park.
Helmet graphics brought to you by Texas High School Helmet Project. Visit them at txhshelmetproject.com.
You've heard it before. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's when we excel and what real service is all about. Benchmark Insurance Group. Real service. Really.
You're watching Lone Star Gridiron. Go Rattlers!
Welcome back to Lone Star Gridiron Videocast. Our first crosstown showdown will pit Austin High Maroons versus the Austin Aikens Eagles. For the Maroons, this game against Aikens represents one of 5 crosstown showdowns this year, and they didn't waste any time jumping on the Eagles early. Already up 7-0, Austin High's Cyrus Coleman and Temple Baker crush Austin QB Easy Maldonado, forcing the fumble. Sophomore linebacker Daniel Laudermilk recovers in the end zone. The Aikens Eagles responded to the adversity of a quick 2-touchdown deficit and drove down the field on the Maroons. Their methodical rushing attack was capped off when sophomore Naka Shashington took it around the left edge for a 35-yard touchdown.
Number 10, the ball carrier.
With a 14-7 lead, the Austin High offense takes the field for the first time. And Emery Blake takes a direct snap 33 yards into Aikens territory. And on the next play, junior quarterback Jacob Morgan hits Josh Shelby for this 17-yard touchdown. Austin High's offense is on a roll.
It was really neat to watch Jacob tonight just take what they gave him, whether it's swinging a ball to Sibley and him getting some yards or throwing the ball downfield to Holly and Blake and some of those guys. So I was really pleased with our offense for just making sure that they took what the defense gave them tonight.
And after a big defensive stop, the Maroons and Jacob Morgan drove down the field again, relying heavily on his target out of the backfield.
I was proud of our receivers for finding the open windows. I was proud of our receivers for their blocking. And then our offensive line on our pass protection was really good tonight.
And they finished the drive with this 3-yard Josh Shelby run to go up by 3 touchdowns. But Aikens didn't quit. They again drove down the field relying on their power rushing attack and brought the game within reach with this Xavier Johnson touchdown. Johnson finished the game with 207 yards rushing for the Eagles. But the high-powered Maroons' offensive attack was just too much. Jacob Morgan and the speedy Emery Blake connect for this 44-yard touchdown.
A lot of people don't think I have that speed. I mean, on film it just looks like I'm slow, but I actually have long strides. So, I mean, I can actually get it going once I get my wheels turning.
And just before halftime, senior Chris Green gets in on the act with this 9-yard touchdown. The Maroons take a commanding 42-14 lead into halftime. In the second half, Austin High's offense looked to preserve a 4-touchdown lead. And on the last play of the third quarter, Emery Blake takes this direct snap from his own 7-yard line.
We scored every time we got the ball except once, and we need to fix that. But I mean, besides that, that's pretty dang good in my opinion. We're expected to do that. We really have high expectations for ourselves, and I mean, if we do any less than score every time, we're not happy.
Blake rushed for 126 yards on 2 carries. And the Austin High defense held up their side of the bargain as well. holding the Eagles to one second-half touchdown.
Defensively, I was proud of our guys for playing their option responsibilities really well. There was a time there where our defensive line, our pad level was a little high, and they were able to gain some yards on us. But we have shown that when someone's got to drive a long field, that we can bow our necks up when they get down inside our 50 and play good defense.
The Maroons improved to 4-1 with a 2-0 mark in district.
We're off to a good start, but we need to keep it up. We got Bowie next week, which is a really big game, and we're focusing on them now.
Coach Abels and them have done a great job with their program, and they've got that high-powered offense that we've got to make sure that we tackle well and play good assignment football. Offensively, we just got to keep getting better at what we do and make sure that we're ready. They've got a great team over there, and we're looking forward to a good contest.
Next up for Austin High, Austin Bowie in the Burger Center.
Wow, impressive win there for the Austin High Maroons, and they've been impressing a lot of people for the last few years. Hey, I want to take a second to remind you to head out to LoneStarGridiron.com, check out the message board. You'll see all of these videos, you'll see all of the audio out there, and you'll get to check out lots of great stuff out there, LoneStarGridiron.com. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get you out to our second Crosstown Showdown.
Gridiron Warriors take the field in an epic battle that is larger than life. It is called Texas High School Football. Only one show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.
All right, it is time for our final Crosstown Showdown. In fact, this is the Crosstown Showdown. That's the official name of the game. We'll send it right out to you, Eric.
That's right, Chris. This Crosstown Showdown is a little bit smaller of a town, so it's a more intense rivalry. A&M Consolidated versus Bryan High. The defense dominated most of the first quarter of this rivalry, each team getting stopped once. A&M Consolidated was able to break the 0-0 tie on the last play of the first quarter. Senior quarterback Patrick O'Quinn rolls right, hits junior wideout Ricky Smith in the end zone to take an early lead. The Vikings answer quickly, though. Senior running back Montreal Washington tallies 55 of his 231 yards on this touchdown run. But Consol's sophomore running back Chris Nuttall answered that with a big run of his own.
What a great little athlete, isn't he? Kicking game, I got him so tired on kicking game that he was worn out and couldn't carry the ball sometimes on offense. I got to get him in better shape.
Nuttall scored a touchdown on this 5-yard run that put the Tigers up by a touchdown. He ended the game with 147 yards rushing.
I give it up to the offensive line for doing everything in defense, holding down.
The Consol defense got a chance to show off their skills in their next drive, as they stopped the Vikings deep in their own territory. And after this deflected punt, the Tigers only have 23 yards to go for their touchdown. 6 plays later, Chris Nuttall finds the end zone again to give A&M Consolidated a 21-7 lead. With 5 minutes till halftime, the Vikings marched down the field, relying mostly on the run. But they capped off the drive with a pass. Senior quarterback Albert Garza hit junior wideout Craig Branson in stride for the touchdown. And the Vikings head into the locker room down by a touchdown. The Vikings come out in the third quarter and take command of this game. They control the clock and move the ball against the Tigers' defense, relying mostly on Montreal Washington. But it was senior quarterback Albert Garza who finished this drive off. After the quarterback sneak, this game is tied at 21. After another big stop by the defense, the Vikings march again, and Montreal Washington caps this drive off on the first play of the fourth quarter with this 4-yard run.
Touchdown Vikings, Montreal Washington. takes it in for the score.
The Bryan Vikings have their first lead of the game, but the Tigers were able to answer Bryan's comeback. After kicking a field goal, Patrick O'Quinn hit Jarvin Searcy for a 61-yard touchdown.
Coach Pryor, my offensive coordinator, continues to call big plays that enables us to score touchdowns, and the kids continue to execute those big plays. So hopefully we're going to get some people well. We're kind of beat up right now. We got a lot of people hurt.
Consall leads this one, 31-27. And as Bryan was driving to retake the lead, Consall Jr. defensive back Xavier Nelson strips the ball from Montreal, Washington. And that momentum was quickly translated into points as Patrick O'Quinn takes it 13 yards for the touchdown to give Consall an 11-point lead. Down by 11 with a little over 4 minutes left in the game, Brian's Trey Edom comes up big with this huge touchdown run to bring the game within 5. And after the defense holds Consall to a 3-and-out, the Tigers are forced to punt. But the punt is fumbled, and Consall junior linebacker Nelson Devin falls on it. A&M Consolidated adds another touchdown from Clinton Banks to win this one, 44-33.
We've got a lot of games left, We got 2 big ones behind us, and this was a really big one. A lot of games left.
Next up for Consall is homecoming against Belton on Friday. For Lone Star Gridiron, I'm Eric Weedy.
Wow, big win for A&M Consolidated, and that is probably their biggest game of the year. Literally, that crosstown showdown is so important. If that's the only game you win all year, you know, that's good enough. And a heartbreaking loss for the Bryan Vikings. Well, thanks again, Eric, and thanks to everybody for watching the Lone Star Gridiron videocast. And until next time, we'll see you at the game.